And we're live. We're live.
What's going on, everybody? What's up, family?
What up? What up? Brother Cam.
Sir Charles God. How you feeling, man?
Cam to official. Man, I'm feeling great, man. Life is good. Counting my blessings. What about you, sir?
Same as well. Always looking at the positives, you know.
So is that your dog?
Oh, can you hear that? Hey, Matt, chill out. I didn't even think you could hear that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Boom. Smooth that thing out. Ladies and gentlemen, when you come on in, wipe your feet, take your coat off, smash that like button. Take your coat. Matter of fact, take your shoes off. Take your coat off, hit that like button.
Make sure you wipe your feet before you take your shoes off, and please don't have no holes in your socks. Because if you do, please keep your shoes on at all time. You just don't want to sit.
Show right on. Oh, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have a powerful conversation. We're gonna have a powerful conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Please, as you come in,
I feel like we got a good one tonight, man.
For sure. That smooth that thing out for you real quick for a little bit. Brother Cam to official. Let me see. Get my notes together.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all seen the thumbnail. You seen the description. You read the title. Please don't come in here if you're overly sensitive. Please. This is serious business.
For sure.
Serious business we're dealing with right here.
If you haven't already, please make sure when you come in, please take your shoes off, take your coat off, relax. But again, I have to reiterate, if you don't have socks on, or if your socks got some holes in them, please keep your shoes on.
Otherwise, take your shoes off, take your jacket off, smash that like button when you come on in. All right. Like I say, man, we touching on a very touchy topic. And this is something that's we're very passionate about. And at the end of the day, we're not going to be echoing the narratives that other platforms have been echoing simply because that's not our position. And quite frankly, it's kind of like when you go into a restaurant, you know, and let's just say they only served medium rare steak. If you eat steak, then you'd go somewhere else, because if you don't like medium rare steak, you go somewhere else because you don't like the way they're serving it up.
For sure.
Well, we're serving it up a different type of way here, and we ask that you not be overly sensitive.
And please have an open mind.
Keep an open mind.
Saying? Open mind. Don't take these words so harshly. You know, if you need time to digest, just put digest in the comments. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you put your shoes back on, take your coat out, you know what I'm saying? Go about your business.
For sure. Hold on. Get myself together here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Ooh. Working on a few things. Ooh. All right, hold on. We're gonna get started in a few minutes, y'all. Hold All right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mindfully Misunderstood. I am your host, Sir Charles the God.
And I'm came to official like a referee whistle. You already know what it is. And we back at it again with another legendary video.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a live studio audience here. And yeah, keep it down, please. So, brother Cam, how are things with you, sir?
Oh man, I cannot complain. I got one more wonderful day at work, and then I'm off for a 4-day weekend. So I cannot complain.
4-day weekend. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah. I don't think I get any days off. My boss won't let me.
I'm trying to get like you when I get, you know what I'm saying, when I grow up.
Ooh, I don't know. Sometimes I don't wish this on my worst enemy sometimes, man. I'm like shit. but
Straight like that.
But yeah, man, things are going well. I'm a habitual blessing counter, so that no matter what, which is that kind of feeds into what we're talking about, because perhaps if other people adopted that mindset, we probably wouldn't be having this discussion right now. But nevertheless, as we all know, that brother Twitch, I think he was called Twitch Boss or something. He self-deleted, and we're going to get into it because, quite frankly, I go on other people's platforms, and I feel like I have to what they used to say, braggle my tongue in the in church. They used to say braggle. I used to have to bite my tongue and not say exactly how I feel, but I just don't know if that resonates with some people. So we had to serve it up the way we serve it up, right?
Yes, sir.
So that being said, you ready to kick off the show, brother?
I'm ready, man.
I was
born ready.
All right, people, keep it down. Thank you, and let's get into it. Hey, that beat kind of go hard. I ain't gonna lie, man. I wish I had the 86 Buick Regal with the 215s in the back. You feel me?
You wild.
So without further ado, I'm gonna unless you've been living under a rock, we all know what happened with brother Twitch, who was I guess he was a dancer on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yeah.
And the brother, he one morning left out of the home where his wife and children were, went into a hotel room and self-deleted. So there was some rumors going around that it was because of financial reasons, which there was an article that I stumbled upon that said that was not so. And, I already know you can't believe everything you read. You can't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. But quite frankly, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if it matters to me, nevertheless. So essentially, here was the article that I read. And it said that Stephen Twitch Boss, no financial issues before self-deletion because we can't say the S word, despite online theory. There's an online theory circulating that claims Stephen Twitch Boss and his family were in bad shape financially at this time of his self-deletion, something we're told simply isn't true. Let's say if it was true. Even if it was true. I would dare to say that we all have I'll say this first and foremost. Let me open it up with a quote that pain is temporary, but suffering is an option. Now, it might be financial pain, it may be emotional pain. I'm no doctor. I can't diagnose anyone, but I don't think this brother was. Well, by all means, I mean, I think he showed no signs of any clinically diagnosed mental illness. That's from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Leave a comment, please. But nevertheless, it's. I understand being a man is hard. Being a man is hard. Having to, take care of children and perhaps be the breadwinner in the household and tend to your wife and then tend to work and make sure everything is. I mean, you and I've been there, brother, right? I mean, shit ain't always easy, right?
Nah, not at all.
Sometimes you got to sit up late at night and figure some things out. So, essentially, let's get into it. I got a question for you, brother Cam.
What's up?
In your opinion, and like I say, everybody know we're not doctors. Nothing. Now, in your opinion, is there, barring any like permanent mental illness or what, do you think there's any good reason that a man could have to take this type of action?
I'm gonna outright and just say no. I think this type of action is very selfish. I would even dare to say that it's weak because you're not thinking about the aftermath of what happens after your self-deletion. You're not thinking about the things that people have to see. You know what I'm saying? The thing, especially if you have kids, what type of messages that sending to, especially if you have boys, man. As a man, what kind of message are you sending to your kids? What kind of message are you sending to your young boys? And my question would be, why would you want to write the ending of their story like that?
That's real. That's a real spill. And I have to agree with you. Honestly, I just don't see, especially. Well, first and foremost, let me start by saying that I seen Jordan Peterson on some episode. He was talking to a woman. He was being interviewed by a woman, and they were talking about offensive language. And so Dr. Jordan Peterson said that in order to bring about change, you have to be willing to be offensive. And if for anyone who is going to try to, how shall I say, critique what I say or what Cam 2 Official says, I want you to think about the fact that when Dr. Martin Luther King was doing his thing, it was not popular. In fact, some black people were against him because he was causing a ruckus, and they feared for his life. Malcolm X risked being offensive with a lot of the things he said. Muhammad Ali risked being offensive, and you know what? It's mighty funny that decades later, people revere them and their points of view. So, we're not attacking any men who may be suffering from some type of depression or some type of mental health issue. We're not attacking them, because I will say this: it's about you. It's okay to I'll be willing to have a discussion with a man to quote unquote talk him off the ledge. I'll have that discussion with you and let you know that it's not worth it. Whatever I need to do to get you to think about it from another perspective.
Right.
However, once you do it, I put myself in your children's shoes, provided you have children and a
Mhm.
wife, or even your kid's mother. I put myself in their shoes, and I'm pissed at you. I would dare. I'm gonna go. I'll go ahead and say it. I honestly think that it is very selfish, and I also think that it's a coward way of dealing with temporary issues. I'm not talking about permanent issues where someone is fucked up for life, like, and there's no getting out of that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's excusable, but we're talking about we know of situations where men who are seemingly normal men and taking these actions. And when you have responsibilities, you have children, you have family, you know, you got friends, you got coworkers, people who really love you, and you leave them to figure it out. So I can't imagine. I mean, think about this, Cam. Cam got 5 kids. He could run a half court team. If anybody want to run a 5-on-5, anybody want to run a 5-on-5, hit Cam in the DMs. He
You
got you.
feel
He'll
me?
pull up. Cam, you got 5 kids. And imagine, boom, you're gone automatically right now. And it's tragic enough if it's something outside of your control that caused that to happen.
Right.
But now it's even doubly, and I don't know if doubly a word. I
It
like
don't matter, brother.
I like it. I like doubly. It's even doubly wrong if you caused the action and now they have to deal with the death and the fact that you decided to do it. And now uh what kind of effects do you think that would have on your children? I
Um,
mean, you know,
uh,
yeah.
I'm a here. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely transparent, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I could not imagine the. I can't imagine how my sons would look at me in that casket. To know that, you know what I'm saying, you are your kid's first hero. You know what I'm saying? They see how strong you are. They see you going, you know what I'm saying, places. They see you doing these things every single day. You know what I'm saying? You are their hero, and to see their hero fall in such a tragic way, and it's not by anybody else's hand.
Hmm.
I'm not getting killed by anybody. I'm not getting, you know what I'm saying? I'm not getting killed by a drunk driver. I'm not getting hit by a car. I'm taking my own life away from me. And it's like, I feel like in a kid's mind, it's like, dang, I wasn't important enough for my dad to stay here. Like, he didn't care about me enough to even say goodbye. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Or he couldn't put the way that he felt personally aside to raise me, to make sure that I was good before he, you know what I'm saying, before he left. Like, those are the things that I think about when it comes to kids, man. It's like, I don't want to write the ending to their story like that. Especially when it comes to me. It's different if I die from some freak accident, but this ain't no accident, brother. It's me and my own detriment. I'm
Hmm.
dying by my own hand, not by somebody else's. And I feel like when you have kids, man, it's a different type of. It's, and even if you don't have kids, brother, even if you don't have kids, you have an obligation to your mother and your father to be a better person than somebody that's gonna do such an action.
Hmm.
Because obviously you didn't ask to be here, but they worked damn hard to bring you into this world to provide for you. And just for you to go back and do some shit like that, it's disrespectful.
For a fact. For a fact. And you know what? I'm 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 gonna get animated. I'm gonna get a little animated shortly, but you know, I just wanted to ease people into the conversation because I didn't want to come off on 10. But I'm very passionate about it because first of all, I love children.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the thing about it is the effects of such a decision can't even be quantified. And just like in the description of this video, it says that the end isn't really the end. See, the thing about it is you take these measures, the end is it's the end for you. But what
Mm-hmm.
about all the other shit that took place because of this? Now, and I'm gonna get a little graphic here. My man went to a hotel and pushed his shit back in a room, right?
Right.
So now you got kids fatherless, wife husbandless that has to take care of the children by herself and figure it out. I'm sure. I mean, Ellen's probably gonna help with some finances, but she can't do that shit forever. So now perhaps another man has to come in to raise the children if the wife decides that she wants to, let another man do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's think about the other stuff that people aren't really talking about, right? This is the hotel room. The housekeeping knocks on the door. Housekeeping, nobody answers. They come in. The woman come in, she sees this fucking all this shit all over the place, right? She's traumatized for the rest of her life. Fucked up.
Yep.
She's probably not going to be able to work. And I don't even know if some of these hotels ain't going to pay you if you off. She probably don't. Now she's traumatized. She probably can't even take care of her family when she goes home because of what she's seen. Now, I mean, and that I'm sure that at least the floor of that hotel was fucking off limits. So now that's lost revenue from the hotel.
Yeah.
And I did mention, yeah, okay. So now let's go back to the children, right? Fatherless children, they already have issues. Now, what's going to happen with how they treat each other, with how they treat their mother, with how they treat their classmates, their friends as they get older? Their relationships are going to have trouble. Maybe their relationships could have trouble, and then when they perhaps maybe when they have kids, are they thinking that it's okay? Listen, the ripple effect of such a decision is unmeasurable. Is it unmeasurable or immeasurable? Immeasurable. I don't know. Hell, I look educated, but I'm really not that smart. But the ripple effect is immeasurable. You can't measure that shit.
Yeah.
But all you thinking about is checking out. And that's why I say, honestly, as a father I've raised 5 kids and countless nieces, nephews, and other folk, right? Cam, no, I ain't bullshitting. I've poured into a lot of children, and that's my passion.
On God and them.
I didn't feel like doing that shit all the time. Like I might have looked like it. I never told y'all, but I didn't. And just like you, as a parent, you don't feel like doing that shit all the time. You don't feel like it, but you know what? Love is all about sacrifice. Doing shit you because it's your responsibility, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you feel like doing it. Who
Right.
gives a fuck if you feel like doing it or not? And so I'll say this, and I yield the floor. There's a lot of people in these YouTube streets, and I get it. I respect everyone's angle or their position or what have you. I respect it, but I'll say this. For me, the drill sergeant approach works for me. If I'm acting or thinking like a bitch, nigga, I want somebody to tell me, bro, you acting like a bitch, and I'm like, word, I don't want to be no bitch.
Right.
That's just me. I don't want to come off as anything less than a man. So that being said, I am gonna, hey, DeSosa, how you doing, lady? I don't want to be portrayed as anything less than a man. So the drill sergeant approach works for me. You can't coddle me. You can't spoon feed me. Don't give it to me straight, right? And so that's why I approach men the way I do, because I know there's a man out there that hear the voice of another man who he perceives is in the same lane but just a little ahead. You know what I'm saying? That coddling shit don't work with me. I need that drill sergeant. Hey, quit bitching up, right? And so when we talk about the serious business of raising children, I'm pissed off that if you leave your kids here for the rest of us to raise, I'm mad at you. Now, and I'll say this. Again, I just want to say, it is about you. I will show you as much attention as you need while you're going through the problem. But once you make that decision, that final decision, I don't even know, Josh. I don't give a fuck. I'm pissed off at this point. I'm angry that you chose to unplug from the game as opposed to keep going, although you feel like you're losing. We can talk about it. But that's all I'm saying. I don't want to say too much right now.
Nah, I mean, so my take on that, and I feel like the problem with self-deletion is you leave so many unanswered questions. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you are no longer here to talk to your sons and for them to ask you like what was going through your head when this happened, or what would you do in this situation? Like all of these things you've missed. All of these things you've missed. And then you have everybody thinking the second part of that is what did I do? Or what have I done? Or what didn't I do? Or should I have listened more? Should I have treated you better? You know what I'm saying? You got all these questions that run into this person's head or run into your kid's head on what they could have done or should have done to make you not get to that point.
So in essence, what you're saying is your children or your loved ones tend to internalize the action that you took.
It's a lot of, and I've seen it. There is more self-blame than it is like just like the acceptance part of it. That person is asking themselves like, damn, what did I do? Or if I would have just paid more attention, like you would still be here right now. But we talked about it earlier. If someone is determined to self-delete, there is no talking to them. There is no reasoning with them because they're already determined to do what they're going to do. But I feel like that in itself, man, I don't think we can say it enough, man. That is one fucking selfish way to go. To not face the problems that you have with your chin out, chest up, and hitting every obstacle that you can in the best way that you can and the most efficient and effective way that you can. It makes it that much more hurtful because it's like you let the devil win. You know what I'm saying? Like you let him into that space. Because what do they say? An idle mind is the devil's playground. I feel like you let him in that space and you just let him take over, and now you got fatherless kids.
Yeah.
And you can't blame nobody but yourself, and nobody can blame you now because you're already gone.
Yeah. And again, I just want to urge men, listen, if we all have problems. Listen, I had a bout with depression at some point. So I'm, a lot of times when I talk, people think that, oh, you got it all together, and that's because, listen, I constantly speak power to myself. I'll even it. Listen, and I learned something with that bout of depression. It let me know that even though I have problems, I have the control. I have the power to control how I feel about it and how I respond. And especially if the problem is temporary and external and out of my control, then I probably shouldn't give it so much attention, because storms will come. Everybody has problems. We get to a point where life will knock you to your goddamn knees. But I will say this: I got help. I centered myself around people who really meant me well. they talk to me and talk me out of that situation, and I thank God for that. Now, here's the thing. Honestly, I never thought about taking myself out, but what I am saying is that I know what depression feels like. I know what it's like to hop in that shower and that water. The water hurt. It hurt. You don't even want. First of all, I didn't want to get in the shower. After 2-3 days, you start smelling a little ripe, and so you got to do something. And it was painful to get in there. So it's not like I haven't had problems, but I will say through that situation, I learned so much about life and about myself. And I understood that as long as I stayed in that funk, my children weren't benefiting. And so I had to learn that my life isn't about me. And I think men specifically, and because I don't want to, I don't know what it's like to be a woman. So I don't know the whole emotional thing. I'm gonna leave that to the women to talk about. So that's why this platform strictly geared towards men. We appreciate when women listen. Perhaps you can talk to a man and say, hey, I learned this on Mindfully Misunderstood. We appreciate that. But my conversation is geared towards men, and to say that, yes, you will have problems, but yes, there is a way out, especially if it's temporary, external, and outside of your control. Y'all have them. We have low points. Life will knock you to your knees. But hey, like Les Brown said, as long as you can get up, as long as you can look up, you can get up. Right? So ask for help. Please ask for help if you are suffering through some bout of depression, and you just can't get it together. Here's the other thing. I'm gonna say something that's triggering. Hold on. Let me hold on. I'm gonna say something triggering. Mr. He said, what up, brother? The cringe alert over here.
He said the cringe alert.
No, I'm saying cringe alert because I'm about to say something. I'm about to say something. The Sayers approve his message. Thanks, brother. The thing about it is, if I'm a, maybe I should play this clip first. Let me play this clip first. This cringy clip, and then we'll come back. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. The world's favorite, Top G, Mr. Andrew Tate. You know where we're going with it. Hey, I rocks with the way this man think. I know he's cringy to a lot of people, but it's the type of shit. This how I need a man to talk to me. If I need to hear him. I don't need no. Hey, well, think about. I need that drill sergeant. If I
was suicidal, I still would. Because my parents worked too fucking hard to put me on the planet and raise me and feed me, working jobs day and night to put food in my mouth for my stupid ass to feel sad and kill myself. That is a fuck up. That is a monumental fuck up. I have too much respect for my fucking family to do that shit. All these men that say to them to kill themselves, you have fucking kids. You want to kill yourself? You have children to raise. You are selfish. I don't feel sorry for you 1%. You're a pussy. If you're half a man, you take your suicidal feelings, shut the fuck up and raise your children anyway. If I was...
Okay. And that's what that all right. So listen, that's exactly where I was going with it. We all have problems. And at the end of the day, if you are just gonna like snatch the plug out and not work it through your problems, at that point, I can't even feel sorry for you. I can't, because at this point, it's not about you no more. It's not about you. And in fact, I'm angry. I'm angry that you took an easy way out. Now, some people may argue that it's not an easy. Oh, yes, it is. It's easy because obviously all the other shit was too hard to deal with.
So
life.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I've been thinking about this for the last 2 minutes, because a lot of people say, like, oh, because that person was able to push their shit back, I love how strong they are, right? And a lot of people think that people that can off themselves are strong, and I genuinely believe strong is the wrong word to use. Those people are brave. They're strong is the wrong word. I think brave is a better word because I mean, at least to me personally, I don't think it's that hard to, you know what I'm saying, push 5 pounds of pressure on your head and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? You feel that pain for about 0.5 seconds and then that's it. 5 pounds of pressure, that's all you need.
Unless you
But
got it locked.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I genuinely, I mean, I agree with that clip wholeheartedly. It's really hard for me to, um, it's really hard for me to feel bad for you when you make those choices that are self-inflicting, right? And you expect me to be able to reason with you or feel sad about you leaving, and I don't, bro. You took the easy way out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I can only have here's the thing. I want people to be clear. I can only have compassion for you while you're on this side of earth working through your problems because I needed help at some point. We all need help. Nobody can go through this world alone. I want to repeat, and I'm going to repeat that throughout so people understand wherever you jump in on this live.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you shouldn't have problems or you shouldn't feel depressed because we all get low sometimes.
for sure.
I can only have compassion for you while you're on this side of earth or this side of life. When you choose to go to the other side and you leave all of your responsibilities to everyone else, I am essentially saying, fuck you. I am saying, I'm be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm saying fuck you. All right. I'm saying because at the end of the day, you didn't give a fuck about what you left here. You didn't care about what you left here. But so why should we care about you? And I don't know. And that's something that, hey, listen, I understand somebody gonna find that be cringy, but I'm also hoping that that's gonna reach somebody and understand that, damn, I ain't think about it like that. Because we're not here to just tear people down for to get clippable moments and for people to say, oh, I can't. No. Honestly, we're really trying to build men up to become the best versions of themselves, right?
For
And
sure.
so we're saying that we understand that life gets real, life be lifing, right? But when you leave it's no different than listen. Kind of. You know, you ever work with a motherfucker that you doing all the work, and you doing all the work, and he getting paid still though.
Yeah, bruh. I mean, okay, so you're saying that he couldn't fight anymore. Mental illness can be very powerful. Yes, it can be. But so is mind over matter. If you want something bad enough, you'll get your ass up and go get it. So there is nothing physically here on earth that is that hard where you can't pick yourself up, put yourself in a better position, because every day that you wake up, you have a chance and a choice. Now, what you do with that is up to you. When you wake up, you can either choose life or you can choose death. Whichever one you choose, that's going to be totally up to you. But I can tell you that the people that do the selfish act of choosing death, you're not thinking about the end result of how many people that is going to trickle down and affect, not just from your family's point of view, but from where you do it from, to who you're exposed to who has to clean that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those things you have to take into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
And I wanted to address that because I know the sister means well.
yeah,
And
for sure.
we also mean well. We're not demonizing the person that is on this side having problems. In fact, we're giving them a perspective of, hey, if you do this, you do know it's not over. It's over for you, but the ripple effect. Do you care? Are you concerned about the ripple effect? And here's the thing. I'm going to say something even more cringier, right? So if you don't care about the ripple effect, should we care about you? I mean, really, I mean, I just want to add.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because this is kind of off topic, but it's the same concept. So I had a guy at my high school that they would go from a suburb to other places to go get hard drugs like cocaine and heroin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wound up ODing. And he was like 22 or 23 years old. He OD'd on some cocaine, and everybody was like, man, I feel sorry for him. And they came to me and was like, yeah, Cam, did you hear about so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, isn't that sad? I'm like, no, it's not. You made the choice. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? I feel like this. When you go to hard drugs like that, and you know the chances of you either being mentally unstable for the rest of your life or you ODing is a very high chance, why would you even fuck with it? So you die from this, and then you expect me to feel sorry for you. Nigga, I don't, because you made the conscious choice to do that.
And there's that quote that life is for the living, and which means that now we must carry on and take on the responsibilities that you left behind, and that's where the offense comes in at.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, I do, like I said, I just want to repeat, I'm not saying I don't have compassion for people who have mental illness. I do.
So do I.
I have mental illness in my family. I am compassionate. I show love. I show support. I'm there. But if here's the thing, there's different levels of mental illness. What I will say is that this brother was mentally well enough to do for his family, to make a name for himself. He got on the Ellen show, and I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not, right? But what I am saying is that a lot of times I know men, because I have y'all gonna know me in YouTube land. Y'all gonna know me in real life. But I have conversations with men in real life, and they tell me, bro, I never even thought about it like that. I never thought about it like that. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm sharing that same perspective on this platform, that I may be offensive to somebody, but I'm also helping somebody as well. And just like somebody else might have a different delivery, they might serve it up differently, that may be ineffective. It may be ineffective for a person because they need to hear it like I'm serving it up. And so it's the same thing. At the end of the day, our hearts are in the right place, and we're not trying to tear anybody down and say, man, the fuck up. Well, kind of, sort of, like, man, but kind of, sort of. But it's the reason
you should.
why.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, no, everybody got problems, dog. And I understand that. I'll put it to everybody like this, right? One of the biggest side effects of depression is that you will kill yourself, right? And there's no recovery from that. There's no restart button. There's no recovery from that. I can't wake you up. I can't ask you to do this again. So I take that very, very seriously when it comes to somebody telling me about their mental health. But at the same time, it's like, at what point do you say, yo, I gotta do something that benefits me more than just worrying about the problems that I can't control.
And I'm glad okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of us, and this goes back to my 90-10 rule. 90% of the shit that we go through is self-inflicted. The other 10% is out of our control. I guarantee you, if we looked at every bad situation that happened in our life, at some point in time, we intercepted somewhere where the cause of why we went through that was because of a decision that we made, or it's a decision that we didn't make, right? And if the decision that we didn't make landed us in that 10% of the shit that we can't control, why are we putting so much energy into it?
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. And great point. And that's why we well, especially me. I mean, I talk a lot about stoicism because stoicism helped me. In fact, I was subconsciously practicing stoicism, and this also I'm gonna answer your question in a little bit. But I was, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, DeSalsa. Essentially, damn, it just popped up on my screen and made me lose my thought. but damn, what was I? I can't believe I just lost my thought. But so essentially, you have to identify your why, and with the stoicism, first of all, so that goes hand in hand. So I was subconsciously practicing stoicism before I even knew I was practicing stoicism, and one of the tenets of stoicism is essentially making yourself uncomfortable and getting used to discomfort. Like I used to do stuff because I don't know why. I didn't feel like I was working up, like being my optimal self if I was comfortable. Like, so for example, the earliest memory I have is when I was an apprentice at work, and I could easily like put my bags of tools on the truck and drove. Dude, it was like, I promise you, it was about a quarter mile from the building to where the trucks were, and I could have easily had somebody bring a truck, went and got the truck and brought. Bro, I used to carry my tools a quarter mile just to the truck, I swear. But I felt like I was building myself up, building my strength up. Like I was taking cold showers every now and then back then. I would sleep on a hard floor just because I didn't want to be too comfortable in the bed. I don't know why. I felt more manly. Like for lack of like I felt more manly doing stuff like that. And I felt like it was strengthening me. I didn't even know that I was subconsciously practicing some of the tenets of stoicism.
Yeah.
After my bout with depression, I started like studying mindsets and things like that, and that's when I really stumbled on, oh man, stoicism. Like I've been practicing some of it, but it's a thing. And so I dove into it, and that's why. So it may not help any. I don't expect every man to pick it up like, oh man, this is great, the Holy Grail. This is the panacea. Because you may not it may not resonate with you. But what I am saying is that stoicism has helped me navigate through life because it helps me identify things that are outside of my control, which I know some men will flip out on certain things that are outside of your control. That's why you have. I seen a story today where this guy had killed his woman because she was cheating on him. Now you threw your whole damn life away because of somebody else's actions, or even let's scale it down a little bit. Somebody who goes to alcohol because somebody else did something to them. So you beat your own liver up, and I've been guilty of this too. So I'm not preaching like I'm from a pedestal. Like I've been guilty, and I had to wise up. Why am I beating my own body up because of something somebody else doing? So stoicism has helped me identify those things that are temporary, external, and outside of my control. And so essentially what you do is you dispose of those things because your brain is like a room, right? And so if you walk into a room and you got shit all over the place, you ever go into somebody's house and they got shit all over the place?
Bruh.
Right? There's no clear path. And you feel uncomfortable. You don't want to sit down. You're like, and it's their house. And it's like, what the hell? But you go into another room that's, it ain't even got to be spacious. It's just organized, and you feel more comfortable, right? Your brain is the same way. It's like a room, and a lot of times we clutter it with shit that is outside of our control, external and temporary, and before you know it, you blow the fuck up or self-delete. Here's what I'm saying. That's why we have these platforms. We helping men because we want you to pay attention to those things that you are worried about, and really ask yourself, does this deserve an emotional investment? So to answer the question, is there really a choice when it comes to mental illness? Now, I would like I said, I'm not a doctor, but I've witnessed different levels of mental illness in my family or and in friends within friends' families, right? And so I will say that brother Twitch, well, so I got some mental illness in my family that they can't keep a job, like they can't function. You see, their brain is all over. It's obvious something is wrong. That's obvious. Uh, here's a guy that essentially he built a name for himself. He had a career. He had a family. What degree of mental illness are we talking about? Because he was mentally well enough. He had a beautiful wife, beautiful children, a career. He built something for himself. Is mental illness and depression the same? I mean,
I think. Go ahead.
Or is depression like a form of mental illness? Because what I will say is that, okay, well, if that's the case, then it's temporary. Depression is temporary. It don't have to be lifelong. And so what are you depressed about? Okay, you might be depressed about your circumstances. You can change that. You might be depressed about a failed relationship. You can get over that. You might be depressed about your finances, which was rumored about Brother Twitch earlier. You can change that. These are things, but that's what I'm saying.
I mean, when you start getting into, because depression is a form of mental illness, right? But when you start getting into specifics, like being depressed with bipolarness, like that's, to me, those are all chemical imbalances, right? Those are things that are missing that helps you get out of those states or what have you. But depression, it's case by case, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have some people that will be clinically depressed that they don't want to put antidepressants in their bodies. You know, they don't want to do the what do they call it? The electro. Damn, I don't even know what you call it. It's like an electro. What they used to do back in like the old school days, where they would electrocute you or some shit like that, and put like shockwaves to your brain or something.
Uh-huh.
So like you could do like forms of therapy like that could help. But a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? It's obviously there's already a stigma on therapy. There's already a stigma on therapy. I mean, yeah, shock therapy. You got shock therapy, and then you have the antidepressants, which obviously you would have to read up on, like the side effects that whatever antidepressant that you take, what side effects that it will have on you. But you just, there's so many different variables and different areas of depression that you can't really narrow it down. Because even like with my wife, like sometimes she's genuinely sad and she doesn't know why she's sad. There's no specific reason why. She just knows that she's sad.
Well, a lot of times they blame it on the period, but yeah.
So it's like, in that sense, you can't necessarily help that person in a sense, because if there's no actual problem, there's no solution. So you think of other ways, like, okay, well, maybe you need to get up and get out, or maybe we need to go, do something that will benefit you in another way to get you out of that state. But I mean, in a sense, I don't think when you start putting like specific things together, those are those are just chemical imbalances that we can't, like, you can't help that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. So is depression, when I think of depression, I think of something that's temporary or something that could be cured. When I think of depression, I think of something that could be cured. People can get
In
people
some
can,
in some instances, yes, for sure.
maybe somebody smarter than me in the chat or something can let me know. But so that was my understanding, that depression, depression, it can be cured. It can be temporary. It okay. So essentially, depression can be a lifelong thing. So
Mm-hmm.
so let me so let me ask this then. What what now, and okay, so, and that's the thing. So I wasn't necessarily talking about people who have permanent mental illness.
Right.
I'm not even talking about
We're
these
not
people.
talking about them.
I'm not talking about these people. I am talking about people who are going through something, and essentially, they hit a low spot.
And they're letting
And
their circumstances define how they are feeling.
yeah. And so essentially, because I can't even wrap my brain around somebody who has a lifelong permanent mental illness. Maybe they're functioning. I don't know. Yeah.
They
So
function. They function for sure.
okay, stress. All right. Now we get that's kind of what I was talking about. Okay, so stress, and this is my lane, man. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about somebody who is dealing with stress. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And here's the thing. I'm just saying. I can't talk about men. I don't want to. I don't. Hold on. She says, "What you're describing, someone reacting or having anxiety to stress." Yes, essentially that's what I'm talking about. Somebody who they hit a snag in life. Life got them up against the ropes. Maybe knocked them down to their knees, and then like, oh, I'm checking
Woe
out.
is me.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Actually, I talk to people who they've identified problems in their life, and they are fully capable of getting themselves out of it, and they don't want to. They would rather some of these people would rather you pity them forever. And come on. So here's the thing. If I have to pity a man for the rest of my life who is capable of getting himself out of that situation but chooses not to, how long am I supposed to pity him?
Mm.
How long? I mean, at some point, because I was having a conversation with my nephews a couple weeks ago, and I was asking them if they understood the difference between an asset and a liability, right? And so we had that whole conversation. So we all know that people fall in that same category. You can't be in between. You can't be kind of, sort of. Largely you're either an asset or you're a liability. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a grown ass man who essentially has the ability to get over some shit and chooses not to, but he takes the easy way out, which I call it the easy way. I mean, uh, so essentially, am I supposed to pity him? Here's the thing: I have no problem with having compassion for a guy as long as you're on this side of reality, on this side of life. Uh, but once you leave your responsibility to everybody else, essentially, and whether they understand this or not, essentially they're giving a big fuck you to everything that's on this side of reality, including their own kids and the mother of their kids and everybody else who loved them, and saying, "I'm out, bitch, fuck you." And I'm saying, how am I supposed? That's how I view it. How am I supposed? Because you're looking at two men right now. We both been through some shit, some low times where we had to figure some shit out. And I don't know Brother Twitch's story, but I will say this. It almost seems like the more you've been through, the stronger you get. And a lot of times these motherfuckers ain't really been through nothing. I'm not talking about Twitch. I'm talking about
just
someone else.
people in general, bro.
Yeah, a lot of times motherfuckers ain't been through shit, and so that one gut blow from life, they like fuck this, because they don't want to go back. They don't know what it's like to eat a bologna sandwich on a picnic table in the dining room,
bruh.
You know,
they don't know what it's like to eat them sugar sandwiches. You feel
now,
me?
It wasn't me personally. I thank God that my parents worked it out to where, you know, we were just above struggling. We were good. We were okay. we were okay. We were just. But I've been. I got relatives
above struggling.
I had relatives where, you know, dude, I would go in their house and they got a picnic table with crates in the dining room.
Straight like that.
And essentially, they were going through it. In a way that groomed them to deal with problems later on in life, and a lot of them went on to do great things. But I remember sitting at the picnic table on crates in the dining room with them eating bologna sandwiches. A lot of times people ain't been through nothing, and that's why I was having a conversation with your niece, my daughter, today, and I said, Mia, oh damn, I just gave her name. I said I can't bail you out of everything. At some point, you got to learn what you made of. You got to I have to let life knock you around a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can see what you're made of. I can't bail you out of everything. She was like, yeah, I know. She understood the assignment. That being said, I just want to say this. For men who are able, first of all, if you're thinking about doing something to yourself, please get help. Please get help. Understand that there are ripple effects that are immeasurable. If you decide to take your own life, the ripple effects, you can't even measure it. You cannot fucking measure it. We talked about it earlier, and for people who just tuning in, we're talking about the fact that, you know, kids growing up fatherless, you know, how is the relationship going to be between them and their mothers? And then how's the relationship going to be between them, the siblings, now that they're fatherless? You know, the structure has collapsed. How are they going to act in class? Are they going to be held to their classmates? Are they going to be held for their teachers? Growing up, are they going to have relationship problems? How are they going to be with their mate, their love interest, their wife, their husband? How are they going to be to their children because of this situation? The ripple effect is immeasurable. You can't put a measure on it. So I'm urging men, hang the fuck in there. Hang the fuck in there. Seek help. Get all the help you need so that you can power through the gut blows of life. However, if you do decide to take that step, when you could have worked your way out of it, I'd say you a selfish motherfucker and you're weak. But you ain't gonna hear me say it because you're gonna be on the other side. God damn it. I'm just saying you don't. I take responsibility in my kids and serious. Oh, and that's what I want to say. Motherfuckers always talking about I will die for my kids. I die for my kids. Well, how about you live for them? That's what I did. I'll say this. I used to gangbang. A lot of motherfuckers don't know this, and my kids don't. Cause my kids are like, yeah, you a lame. I'm like, yeah, thank God you ain't supposed to do what I did when I was a shorty.
Right.
If you could see what I did as a shorty right now, then I failed both of us. I failed both of us. So,
yeah.
So I used to gangbang, and one time, my two oldest daughters were born because I had two kids by the time I graduated high school. So I was still gangbanging, doing dumb shit, right? So my father called me gangbanging on 119th and Halsted. And that coupled with the fact that I got two girls, I'm like, this is stupid. And that's when I had to adopt the mindset that I need to live for them. You know, all motherfuckers will say in a minute, I'll die for my kids. I'll die for well, how about you live for them? Live for them and let nature have its natural progression of how we check out this bitch. That's all I'm saying.
For sure.
I'm fired up. What? Hey, brother, we've been on for an hour.
You're right.
And I'm telling you, I am. Cam, no, I am not as animated as I wanted to be. I ain't say something shit you talking about on the phone.
Listen,
I
you and me both.
yeah.
I'm right behind you. When you say, I think that people that delete themselves, that is some weak ass shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. I genuinely think that's some weak ass shit. And I hope, what I'm saying, whoever this reaches, I need you to know that it is so much more powerful for you to walk through your shit and own how you feel and choosing life and being able to, be a positive influence on your kids and the people around you. Bro, that means so much more than you just giving up and letting other people figure out your own shit. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I would try to off myself, and I know my insurance don't cover if I kill myself. So I'll be damned. You know what I'm saying? For me, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from my own personal shit. The insurance don't cover me if I kill myself. So not only do I leave you with a bill, now I'm expecting you to sit here, fucking bury me, and do all of this extra shit when I did that to myself. Nah, because I would look at me and be like, nah, nigga, I'll bury you in the backyard. I don't get no fuck. Wherever you killed yourself, that's where you're going to lay at.
Hey,
it is what it is.
It sounds tight, but I think you're right. I ain't gonna lie. It's tight.
So,
But hey, I agree with you, man.
And to what she said, 12 days before Christmas, that is probably the worst feeling. From here on out, that's probably going to be the worst feeling for his kids.
Damn, I ain't think about that. You're right.
You know what I'm like, to know that, yo, my dad waited 12 days before Christmas to fucking just be like, well, I'll see you later. Like, for however long they live on this earth, that will that feeling of knowing, like, bruh, like this is the day that he took his own life. Like, that will forever be in their heads. And it's not a family. I mean, eventually over time, obviously it gets easier and easier, right? But it's still the fact of, like, they still have to think about that around Christmas.
When it's supposed to be a joyous time. And I didn't think about
it's
this.
Like bittersweet.
No pun for real. I'm not that. But that song, 12 Days of Christmas, I mean, if you think about it, like, that could be triggering. When it's supposed to be a joyous occasion, I got to think about my dad took himself, man. Damn.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
man.
I just want to say, brothers, identify your why early. Identify your why, and understand that we're not here for ourselves. We're not here for ourselves. We are here to serve. We are here to leave this earth better than we found it. That is I believe. That's my belief. I believe that we are going to have an impact, and however small, it doesn't matter. I'm saying it could be you brought some beautiful children into this world, and then they blessed the earth, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just don't think it's, if you're thinking about it, like I say, get help. Please get help. Please get help. None of us go through this world by ourselves. However, if you actually do it, I'd say that you're selfish and you took the weaker approach. That's just my position. I don't give a damn. I don't make no apologies. That's just how I feel. And I'm talking to the men who actually could have made a change, but chose not to. So that's my piece. And anything else you want to say, Cam? Wrap it up. I got.
Honestly, I second that. But I really urge us as men to understand or not how valuable, but how powerful our tongue is. And as a man, realizing that all you have in this world is your word and how you carry yourself as an individual. And don't what am I trying to say? Don't let the no, I won't say that because that's a little too harsh. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Just be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday, and realize that every day that you wake up, that you have a chance and a choice. What you do with that is solely up to you, but you are the author and the writer of your own book, right? And you determine how that book ends. Not nobody else, it's just you. And if you write that book and the ending is you giving up, you have failed every person that has ever believed in you, had a conversation with you, poured energy into you, anything of that nature. You've let those people down. So always keep fighting. Always do the things that are into your best interest as an individual, as a man, and you know what I'm saying. Get help. Get help if you need it, man. We all need help at some point. But remember, if you don't take nothing from this episode, remember you are the author of your own book. You write your own fucking ending. Don't let it be a tragic one.
Real shit. So, that being said, we want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Mindfully Misunderstood. I'm your host, Sir Charles the God.
And I'm Cam 2 Official.
And thank y'all once again for rocking with us. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't be we got thick skin. Let us know how you feel. Can't hurt my feelings. I promise you. Can't hurt Cam's feelings either. Just don't be trying to report this shit and trying to get us taken. That's a bitch ass thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you can't knock somebody for their perspective.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we want everybody to think like us, and that's another conversation, because I was about to get into religion, because I had a discussion with somebody about religion, and I'll give you a little piece of it. Essentially, I was talking about how you can exude all of the 9 fruit of the spirit that is spoken of in Galatians 5:22: love, joy, peace, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, humility, patience, and self-control. You can embody all of those, but because you don't believe Jesus died on the cross, then you're the devil. And that's a perspective. It's just a perspective. It's an opinion. It's a belief, and a lot of times our beliefs cause division, even among good people. And I think it's tragedy. It's tragic. Cam and I mean well. We really are doing real work outside of this shit. We have discussions with men. I mentor men. I mentor boys, and I have discussions all the time that has changed people's perspectives for the better. So you know, just because I didn't serve it up how you would serve it up, we probably both getting results. And
I mean, you mentor, you mentor men and you try to uplift them. I'm just trying to get away from these weak ass niggas. I can't.
Yeah.
My brain can't take it, bro.
Well,
when
that's
you start making excuses for why you can't do something instead of just doing it, I automatically clock out. When there's more excuses than actual action, I'm clocking out. I can't do it.
That's real. That's real shit. For real. Ooh, we're gonna have to get into that. We're gonna have to do a show about that.
I can't do it.
Men being assets and liabilities. We definitely gonna have to do a show about that because we can get onto that because I think that's where that would go in that conversation. So, nevertheless, thank y'all. Appreciate
Thank you guys for rocking with us.
And
make sure you hit that like button, share it even, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.